Black CEO kicked out of her own bank. Moments later, she takes over headquarters. You don't belong here. The words sliced through the polished marble lobby like a blade. All eyes turned toward the imposing bank entrance where a tall, impeccably dressed black woman stood frozen, her designer purse, emblazoned with the initials AR, clutched tightly in her grip. The security guard's hand was outstretched, blocking her path. Behind him, a smirking male executive crossed his arms, his voice dripping with condescension. I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. This bank doesn't answer to you anymore. O's sharp gaze flickered just for a second before hardening into steel. But how had it come to this? Hours earlier, she had walked into the same building as its undisputed leader. Now they dared to treat her like an intruder in her own empire. And in 30 minutes, the entire financial world would watch as she dismantled them all. Amina Reynolds, AR, had built Maguire Trust from the ground up, turning a struggling regional bank into a Wall Street powerhouse. She was ruthless, brilliant, and unapologetically black in an industry that still whispered behind her back. But today, something was off. The boardroom had been too quiet when she entered. The usual greetings were replaced with stiff nods. And then the email arrived. An emergency vote. Her removal. Effective immediately. The board has decided to pursue new leadership. The words came from Richard Vaughn, her longtime COO, the man she'd trusted to run operations while she closed the biggest merger in the bank's history. Amina's fingers tightened around her phone. The merger. That was why they were doing this. They wanted her out before the deal finalized. Before she got credit for the billion-dollar triumph. Richard's smile was venomous. Security will escort you out. Amina didn't scream. She didn't beg. She smiled. Because while they'd been plotting, she'd been preparing. One call. 2 words. Execute it. Within minutes, her legal team descended, armed with documents proving Richard and the board had violated bylaws by holding a secret vote. But Richard wasn't backing down. You'll never win this, he sneered. Amina leaned in, her voice a whisper. Watch me. The real power play came when the news broke. Maguire Trust's merger partner had backed out. Because Amina had warned them. The stock plummeted. The board panicked. And Richard realized too late that she had let them push her out. Because now she owned everything. But Richard had one last move. As Amina strode back into headquarters, security hesitated. Until Richard produced a restraining order. You step 1 foot in this building and you're arrested. For the first time, doubt flickered in Amina's chest. Had she miscalculated? Then her phone buzzed. A notification. A transfer. A name. With a slow, triumphant smile, Amina turned her screen toward Richard. Recognize this? It was a controlling stake, purchased in secret by an offshore holding company. Her holding company. Richard paled. I believe the term is hostile takeover, Amina purred. Now get out of my bank. By sunset, Maguire Trust had a new board. A new direction. And a CEO who would never be underestimated again. As Amina settled into her reclaimed office, she tapped her initials. AR. Onto the polished desk. Always rising. If this story touched you, hit that like button and drop a comment below.